Guys, my name's Matt and I recently entered the Bully Fight Nationals and came 40th, and this is my deck profile. So first off, the flag, which is Danger World, and Buddy, Armonite, Iblis. So both are great and had a lot of fun playing this world, so we'll move on to the monster list. Okay, here we go with size zeros. Our size zeros are 2 copies of Armonite Naga, great reduction in iron power and critical, with the ability to pay gauge, pop it on the field, choose your opponent's item, reduce its power by 3000, defense by 3000 if you get Hero World, of course. Kaiserons are plebs. And the critical by 2. Also, we've got 3 copies of Little Drake. Little Drake, need I say more, he's a great soul filler and a great way to improve certain cards like Cradle, which give extra critical with items. So if you already use Cradle's ability, you can call Drake, discard another card, and add an item from drop zone straight to soul. So it's a double boost. Okay, size 1s we've got 3 copies of Gargoyle Ace. Gargoyle Ace is a great card. If you've got it on the field and you have 5 life or less, you can move it straight into the soul of a weapon. And from the soul, you can pop it into drop zone to nullify an attack. So a great secondary nullifier, and a lot of people did use this. Secondly, we've got Armonite Karis. 2 of these because they're not big in attack and defense. Critical's not too bad, but it's the main ability to, when it's called to the field, to put a card with Ace in the name from your hand into the soul of your item. So again, another great way to boost to get secondary nullifies, item destruction prevention, and extra critical to the weapons. Okay, next on the list we have got 2 copies of Armonite Eagle Ace. Great card, 3000 power, 2 critical, 2000 defense. And the ability when he's put into soul is the weapon cannot be destroyed or can be bounced to hand. So in a way, it makes your item unkillable. Next, we've got a recent introduction from the 100 Funders set, is Armonite Tiger Ace. Now, Tiger Ace is a lovely card, because when it's in soul, you can pop it from soul to drop zone, give your weapon double attack. So if you've got Cradle like at 5 critical, your opponent's at 10 life, at 5 critical, pop that down. If they've got no nullifiers, it's a 2-strike game. And last but not least on our size 1s is Ogre Ace. Ogre Ace, again, his ability is when he's in the soul weapon, the weapon gets a power plus 5000 boost. This boost is incredible. It's more or less a confirmed kill. And with Cradle, that enables Penetrate. So basically, you smack through, Penetrate. If your Cradle's at like 7 or 8 damage, that's a Penetrate of 7 to 8 damage, which is lovely. Okay, we're on size 2s now. And size 2s for me, we've got 2 copies of Cerberus Ace. Now, Cerberus Ace, you pay a gauge to call him to the field. And when he's in soul weapon, it gets a critical plus 2. Also has a secondary ability, Roaring Charge. So if it's in the soul of the weapon, you pay 3 gauge, and if you do, your weapon gets a critical plus 3. So basically, if you've got like 5 gauge, if you've got like 3 gauge spare, you could pretty much, as soon as he's put into soul, you pretty much power up your weapon by 5 critical, which is very, very nice indeed. And our last lot of grade 2s, size 2s, are Armonite Archangels. Now, Archangels cannot be called to the centre, so again, it's not too bad, but call cost is you can put as many Armonites from your field into this card's soul. It gets power plus 3000 for each card in soul, double attack and soul guard. So in a way, with a quick example, if say I had a size 1 and a size 0 monster on the field, and I call them both for Archangel, Archangel has 2 soul and a grand total of 8000 power. So a double attack with 8000 could pretty much probably take out a lot of stuff. inflict damage if your opponent's riding into like Kaiseron. And with Naga, you can easily make that doable. So on to the size 3s, and basically the last lot of the only size 3 we've got is a playset of Iblis. Now Iblis, of course, is my buddy, and he's got very nice ability. He's got your pay 1 gauge, and you put a card into Soul, so like Drone Bunker. He's got Soul Guard, and also, if the number of cards in the weapon is 3 or more, it gets Penetrate. If you've got 5 or more in Soul of the weapon, it gets an extra critical. So say you got weapon at 5, not only has this got Penetrate, but it's also got a critical of 3 with double attack. So that's a double attack of Penetrate for 6,000, which we can't go wrong with that. Okay, now we're on to spells. Now spells I'm running is 4 copies of Demon Slayer Resurrection. So I can cast that if I don't have a monster in center and I'm on 6 life or less. I pay gauge and immediately regain 4 life points. This is a good card for, say, if you want to survive the next turn and you've got an opponent's got a very dangerous critical. You can pretty much play this card as soon as you got all your monsters from the field to soul with Ace in their name. So you can pretty much pay gauge, get your life back, which is a great way to stick your turn, which is a great way to survive another turn. Next spell is, of course, a playset of Balora's Circle, which nullifies the attack if I do not have a monster in center and an attack on my opponent's turn. It nullifies the attack, so great way to block an opponent's strike, which could be game or could leave you very, very close to death. 2 cards I've got in fact here are Armor Reusers, which, lovely ability, you can return an Armonite from your drop zone to your hand. So basically, if you had no choice but to kill off Iblis, you play this card, bring back Iblis. It is a very, very nice card to get like the Arbonites you want back. Tiger Ace, for an example, you use this ability. If you fail, bring it back and play him again. And last card in spells is Survival Chance. Basically, if you're on 5 life or less, you can pay a gauge, and you can all play this once a turn and draw 2 cards. So, say if you're really running low on hand and you're down to 5 life or less, pay a gauge, you get 2 extra draws on top of it, which is very nice, very handy if you want to get a certain card. And we are on to our items now. So, of course, three items I'm running is, of course, Cradle. Everyone's favourite item. Its ability is I pay gauge and I can put a weapon from the drop zone into the soul of Cradle. So, if I have an axe or something in drop zone, I can easily pay gauge, put it into the soul weapon. This weapon gets the critical of all weapons on the card. So, basically, if I have like 3 copies of axe in there, we're looking at a 10 crit weapon. And if there's 3 or more in soul, it gets Penetrate, which is very handy for an item. And with Ogre Ace in tow, that's a 10k weapon with Penetrate. Our second item is 3 copies of Ricto Demon Slay Axe. And it's pay gauge for a 6,000 power weapon with 3 critical, and the only downside of this, you can't call monsters to your center, so pretty much if you play this axe, you're pretty much leaving yourself a bit open, but hey, it's not too bad. And our third last items up are 3 copies of the new spear, the 100 Demon Spear, Onikuzashi. And the ability here, and top one is I can't attack the left or right, but if I destroy a monster in the center or deal my opponent damage, I get to put the top card into gauge, which is an easy way to get a gauge handy. And finally, our impacts, and I'm only running 4 impacts, and it's 4 copies of Demon Arms Door Armored Gate. So the cast cost is I put the top 5 cards from my deck into the drop zone, and I pick a card from the drop zone, put it into soul of any card I want on the field, which is, again, a handy way to getting certain cards you need into your soul weapon. And that's it, folks. So, like if you enjoyed this video, comment, and subscribe for more gaming videos.